Hey everyone, Action here! Today we'll be starting out a new playthrough as the Phoenix Imperium. Now the lore behind this empire is that they were a very strong fallen empire back then, but something that was inside the Owlgate destroyed all of their colonies, leaving only their home system behind. Now, with their lands devastated, the great leader of Atrata Peyot kept some of their population hidden inside some chambers that would prevent them from aging. They stood there for eons until the Owlgates disappeared, and now they are making their rise after the discovery of bioships. Now the bioships are gonna be their main source of strength, and unlike regular ships they can grow in size, making it easier for them to re-establish their mighty navy. Now for our civics we're gonna have the sovereign guardian ships paired with technocracy. I think it is very fitting to have the sovereign because they are pretty much traumatized from everything bad that happened to them, and as such they want to keep their borders very well defended. And technocracy because after all our great ruler Atrata Peyot is a scientist, so it is safe to say that he has a very powerful position in the government influencing how things are done. For our authority we're gonna be Oligarchic, increasing our effective councilor skill by 2 and also gaining Councilor EXP gain for every single level. Now it is very important to have this if you want to develop a strong council, which we will. For our ethics, you're gonna be militarist, xenophobic, and also materialists. Everything is paired with the lore of our empire, that we were at war with the Owlgates, and as such we hate other species. For our traits, you're gonna have intelligent because they are after all a fallen empire. We are gonna have the familial and also natural sociologists. Now regarding the gameplay, all of these is gonna speed up the research from our biotechs, which are gonna be our main source of strength. And familial is a new trait introduced in 4.0 that basically increases our pop growth the more pops we have with this trait, up to the maximum of 20%. So in our home planet, which will already start with more than 2000 pops, we'll have plus 20% pop growth right at the start of the game. For our negatives, you're gonna have the unruly because they are difficult to manage and organize, since after all they are completely devastated from the war against the Owlgates. And you're also gonna be sedentary, they don't like leaving their cozy homes. And as for our origin, it wouldn't be a good fallen empire if we didn't have the Remnants origin. This makes our homeworld a size 22 relic world with special districts, ruined archaeologies, that upon clearing we have a chance of gaining Marnian artifacts from 10 up to 50. On top of that, we also gain the faculty of archaeo studies, which we are definitely gonna utilize to improve our minor artifacts production. And in patch 4.0 there is a very strong interaction with this building that you'll see later on. Now these are the game settings if you wanna copy them. For this run we're gonna go against all crises at 25 times the difficulty, and hopefully this time the game doesn't end before that. So ideally we won't be going for a crisis path, but instead a more regular playthrough. And if you are enjoying this, join our navy and help us build something greater. High Command has called for 2,500 new commanders to be enlisted, and your skills and leadership are vital to our mission of defending the universe. So here we are, and because we took technocracy, all of our scientists start with random expertise trait, and because we also started with the Remnants, our head of research has the expertise archaeo studies, which grants us all of these bonuses. Now we got very lucky, and also he has the expertise biology, and in the current patch the devs have greatly buffed the expertises. I think that at the level 2 we already gained plus 25% research speed in the field, and at level 3 I believe it is 50%. So if we stack a bunch of biology expertises, we can have like insane amounts of research speed. So in the early game will be all about the economy, Hopefully we won't be going against any other empires, because that would be tremendously bad for us. We also found our first habitable system on Terropia. Let's survey that as well, and let's set up some monthly trades. Now in patch 4.0 the trade has been moved to only trade, not energy credits. However, I do believe that the old trade limits are still applied, so we can just remember the numbers and do the same thing. Let's sell some energy and buy some minerals. Now our first building will be an autochthon monument, and we'll replace the stronghold because we don't want the soldier jobs early on. I heavily recommend that you build this in the beginning because we start off with 1.3 thousand civilians, and this will grant us 0.5 unity for every 100 civilians. So all of these pops that are pretty much useless at the beginning of the game will have a much better use. And now, just by building the autochthon monument, all of our civilians are producing a little bit of tech, unity, and also government ethics attraction. This building is probably the best building in the game because it scales up with your ethics. So since we are xenophobic, materialist, and also militarist, we have all of these modifiers. But this will change depending on your effects. We are getting a very poor income of all resources, so let's build a city district that will improve our consumer good and alloy production as well. For our first tradition, we're gonna have the statecraft to buff our leaders even further and have all of these expertise traits up and running. We could already launch our agenda, however, I'm gonna wait until we have the Amongst Peers, because after we launch with this one, all of our councilors will gain 150 EXP per level. And we already found the Zelvan Forerunners. How wonderful. So there we go, we grab the Amongst Peers and just launch the agenda. Now for our next one, we're gonna have the Expanded Council, because it's the best to have at the early game, and ideally you wanna keep this agenda on cooldown always. One thing that really benefited the Oligarchic authority is that now your Effective Councilor skill also influences on your agenda speed, because in the previous patch I've tested and it didn't work that way. It's a very good change and is a light little buff to our authority. Oh, the Vur. What's up, little fella? It's been a while since I last saw you. Good to see you're still around. Our scouting admiral found some not very friendly mining drones. Get away from there, my guy. No. Alright, he survived somehow. But that's gonna slow down our exploration a little bit. They wanna take a group of our population. That would reduce our happiness by minus 20%. Now, we used to be a fallen empire. However, we don't recall the Zelvan Forerunners. We already surrendered our population once, and they basically destroyed all of our empire. That was what happened with the Allgate, so we will not do that for now. Our first colony on fresh earth has been founded, and it has the colonial remains modifier, greatly reducing our building and district cost. Now, in this patch, our pops grow very slowly in the new colonies unless we resettle them. So what we're gonna do now is just build something, ideally the medical center, which will increase our pop growth speed, and also another building. For this one, we're gonna start with the commercial zones, so we can increase our trade value a little bit more. And after we build those buildings, we just resettle some pops to occupy this job and improve our pop growth. Keep in mind we also have the familial trait, which increases our happiness for every 100 pops. So the more pops we have on a planet, the better. Now because we have the Remnants, right at the start of the game you already have some minor artifact production, and thus we can always activate the minor artifact decisions. Now that we already have the best perks for statecraft, we are gonna dip into Discovery, because Discovery has a very powerful edict, which is the Map the Stars. increasing our survey speed, anomaly discovery chance, and also ship hyperlane detection range. This makes our ships a little bit safer whilst they explore the universe.
Anomaly found.
Colonial remains. Highland was once an important colony of the Phoenix Imperium, and some remnants of its infrastructure remain usable as a base to recolonize the planet. And we also have the colonial remains for our second colony. Now this is why I like the Remnants. We have so many hidden modifiers and bonuses that greatly help our economy in the early game. Oh wow, what? We can hire a level 4 scientist already. However, he costs 600 unity. Yeah, I don't think we have the unity to hire this guy at this point. You're gonna have to pass this opportunity. Alright, now that is interesting. Here on Highland we have the ancient bombardment craters, granting us a little bit of physics research output and also 200 of each tech job. So this way we don't even need to build anything in order to resettle some pops and increase our pop growth. Fantastic. What is this? Or rich caverns. Cost. Like, cough, but cost. Oh wow, we are suffering from low stability on the highland? Minus 42% happiness. Alright. Well, let's build a luxury residences. This building is so OP. 2500 amenities just from that. Seems balanced, right? And we finally found our first AI empire, the Tau Menace. They have an avian shipset as well. So that's interesting, another bird. You're probably gonna like each other, right? Let's already send Picno Popoka. And a shout out to our first founding admirals. Their financial and strategical support are fueling the non-stop expansion of our armada, and they shall be forever remembered. Want your name in our legacy? Hit that join button and become a part of our great empire. Founder members are only available until the end of this month and will have exclusive benefits the bigger our empire gets, so your early devotion will be greatly rewarded. What? They are hostile to us already? Now you gotta be kidding me, they hate us. So much for avian friends, right? Well, let's hope Munin Aka can retreat. Alright, and he also got the unyielding trait, although he retreated, which is kinda ironic. I have expanded our council, and now let's go for evolving society, since we want to improve our unity production to bio-ascend. Oh, the cloning technology, now this is so huge, because before, in patch 3.14, we can only have the clone vats if we bio-ascended, but now we can have it much quicker. And this building actually increases our monthly pop growth by 1.5, and although the effects are not very strong if you look at this, however, it is massive, because fresh airs, for instance, its estimated growth is only 1.7. However, if we build a clone vat, it would basically double to 3.2 growth every month. And here on Highland, it would basically triple the growth. It is completely bonkers. So the world of Highland has the Nemes, a gargantuan amphibian reptile whose bone shell is formed of various exotic minerals. Now most of what we thought were local islands have turned out to be these creatures. Now this reduces our housing by 10%, but increases our society output by 15%. And Highland is turning out to be a very good tech world. We already have the moving island giving us society research, and the ancient bombardment craters giving us physics research. So we have 2 bonuses to 2 tech fields. Later on, I'm thinking about specializing one district to engineering and the other one to society. Oh, they are avian machines. That's why they hate us. Imagine if they are determined exterminators. That would be fun. I don't even know why I'm saying these things, because every time I do, it happens. It's a curse, I swear. But it only works for bad things, right? If I say a good thing will happen, it never does. Oh no. The Void Worms. Our arch enemies are coming. I hate you so much. But thankfully we have a sufficient amount of food to build some defensive fleets. We have the cloning tech now, and we can build the clone vat on all of our planets. Now this will greatly increase our progress. We have recovered a cache while creating a blocker. Oh no! Our scientists! The space amoebas! Oh, they're gonna pay for it. They're so gonna pay for it. We're gonna consume them. Alright, as expected, we established contact with the XT-489 Eliminator. Yeah, determined exterminators. Okay, not a very friendly first contact. Let's insult these, like it would change something. And now that we finished the discovery paired with technological ascendancy, we already have 83% research speed when researching biological ships. And we also have a very good research speed for the other fields at plus 68 and plus 68 as well. Now Commander Muniaka was the first one to observe what appears to be the gates that connected to our ancient rivals. Now this sets an unprecedented level of hatred in our empire, since we start to remember what the L-Gate did to us, completely destroying our empire and taking millions of years for us to rebuild and rise once again on our capital world. Right now we launched the departmental efficiency agenda, and with that we have over 100% research speed in society before the year 30, which is completely ridiculous. Now the buffs they did to technocracy are significantly better than before, because right now our ruler alone is giving us plus 30% research speed in biology. So technocracy with the expertises is definitely something you should consider if you plan on rushing specific builds. And that's it for today's video, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.